Hi, welcome to this video class. This is Pravina here to teach you class 7 lesson 9. In the last video you have learned the different uses of soil, and in this video you are going to learn the different properties of soil. So to find out the characteristics of the soil, here are few activities. So let us just move on to the lesson now to know the different properties of soil by performing few activities. So the first property is that the percolation rate of water in soil. For this you just select two areas which are 50 centimeters into 50 centimeter. You just try to collect 200 ml of water and select two places, that is near your house or in the room that you just live on, in the place, and also the place outside, that is the kacha road, that is the unpaved road. Select those two areas and try to pour water in those squares. So if you can observe that when you pour 200 ml of water on the floor or in the house, you can see that the water it just get floated over there, floated away from that place. But whereas if you add the same 200 ml of water near the kacha road, that is the unpaved road, you can see that the water is being absorbed by the soil. So let us now by performing these activities, let us try to know what is meant by percolation. So here the percolation of water in soil can be known by just performing these activity. So for this you just take a pipe, PVC pipe, which is approximately diameter which is of 5 centimeters, and cut it into 20 centimeter long pieces, and you have to use them. So for this, if the PVC pipes are not available, so even you can use a small tin, you just cut them at the base and you can use them. So if not, if the PVC pipes are available to you, you just cut them into 3 pieces 20 centimeters long, and you just see that they are 5 centimeters in diameter. You just try to collect the soils from 3 different regions, and the place where you have collected the soil from, you just keep one of that cut long piece. You just dig that 2 centimeters inside the soil sample that you have taken. So now what you have to do is that you just keep that tin in that place 2 centimeter deep inside the soil. Now you just calculate the amount of water. So the amount of water that you are taking should be equal for all the 3 different types of soils. So for here you just say that 200 ml of water, you measure them and take them in a bottle and try to start pouring that water into the pipe. Now you just the time that you have started pouring the water into the pipe, you just note down the time, initial, and mention it as the initial time, and you just later note down the time when all the water in the pipe has been percolated down, leaving the pipe empty. So you have to take 2 readings. One is the initial reading when you add water to the pipe, and the second reading is when all the water in the pipe has got percolated, leaving the pipe empty. So you have to take 2 readings there. So how can we calculate that rate of percolation? So here is a formula to calculate that. So percolation rate is equal to the amount of water that we have taken by the percolation time, the time taken for it to get percolated in the pipe. So sample here that we have for assumption that you just imagine that the time taken for it is 20 minutes for 200 ml to percolate. So the rate of percolation will be 200 ml by 20 minutes. So this, which is equal to 10 milliliters per minute. So this is how where you can find out the percolation rate. You just try it with different samples that you have taken and see which soil sample is through which soil is the percolation rate more. And the second property is the moisture in soil. So while just passing through, maybe you have experienced this, while passing through the farmland during the hot summer, you may find that the air above that land is shimmering. Do you know what the reason is? So with this activity, you will be knowing why that shimmering takes place over the surface of the land during the summer season. So for this, you just take a boiling tube and try to collect the sand from any region that you wanted to test. Take that soil sample in the boiling tube and try to heat that soil. So after some time you will observe that the water which is present in the soil, it is getting evaporated. So that evaporated water, when it condenses, it just cools down at the above region of this test tube, and we can see them as the drops of water on the cooler surface of the test tube. So in the sense, the water is consisting of that moisture. So this is what happens while you are walking through the farmland. So as this land, it consists of large amount of water in it. It is due to the heat of the sun, where that water is getting converted into vapor. So this vapor is reflecting the sun. So it is because of due to that reason you will find that shimmer while you just pass on through that. So the air above the land, it shimmers during the summer season as the water is getting evaporated. In the sense, the soil, all the different types of soil consists of moisture in it. So after heating the soil, you just take it out of the test tube and compare it with the soil which has not been heated. So this is the soil that we have tested for, and this after heating, the water vapor, the water in it gets evaporated. So you just try to compare this heated soil with the another type of another sample of soil which is not being heated, and you just note down the difference between the soil. So this activity will explain you that the moisture which is present in the soil, that the soil consists of moisture in it. So now another property is absorption of water by soil. So do all the soil types absorb the same amount of water? Let us try that by doing this activity. For this you need a plastic funnel, and in that you just try to take a tissue paper and try to arrange that as shown in the figure. And now the soil that you wanted to test for, you just take a fistful of sands, keep it in the funnel there on the tissue paper. Now you just calculate the amount of water, measure the water. For example, 200 ml or 250 ml, you just try to measure the water, and for the different samples you have to add the equal amount of water. You have to measure it exactly. Now to this soil, you just by using a dropper, you just add water drop by drop to the soil, and see that the water is not spilled exactly at one place. You have to spill the water all over the funnel so that the entire soil in it get wet. And see that the water, when the water starts dripping from the funnel, you can stop that now, but you have to measure the water for it. So the water is being now collected after dripping from the funnel. The water is being collected in the beaker. Now subtract the amount of water left in the measuring cylinder from the amount you started with. For example, the initial amount of water might just say it as 200 ml, and you also measure the amount of water that is being collected in the beaker and try to subtract both these values. So this is the amount of water which is being retained by the soil. For example, the weight of the soil that you have taken, it may be 50 grams. So the initial volume of the water in the measuring cylinder, you consider it as UML, and the final volume of the water in the measuring cylinder is VML. So the percentage of water absorbed, you just consider it as U minus V, that is 100 minus 50, so that you will get the exact percolation rate of water by doing this activity, and try it with different samples of soils. So these are all the different properties of soil. So after performing all these activities, try to answer these questions. Which soil would have the highest percolation rate? Which soil would have the lowest percolation rate? And which type of soil retains the highest amount of water, and which retains the least? So you can answer all these questions only after performing those activities. So try that at home and you just try to answer these questions. So what is the relation for this soil and crops? As we already discussed, that soil is very important, essential for agriculture, right? So soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity, and the climatic factors as well as the components of soil, they determine the various types of vegetations and crops that might grow in any region. So clayey and loamy soils are both suitable for growing cereals like wheat and gram. Such soils are good at retaining water. Whereas paddy, soils rich in clay, that which can retain more amount of water, and also which clay consists of rich amount of organic matter in it. So they will be ideal for growing the paddy. Whereas lentils and other pulses, loamy soil which drain water easily are required, and for cotton, sandy soil or loam which hold plenty of air are more suitable. So these which is indicating that all the different types of crops do not require the same amount of water. Few plants require more amount of water, whereas few plants they require less amount of water. So based on the necessity of the water, different types of soils are being used for growing different types of crops. Not that all the crops grow better in one type of soil. So different soils are being good for growing different types of crops there. Yes, might you have understood this. And at the when you can even perform activity, Nana. You just try to collect the different types of soils, and you just gather from your parents that which type of soil would be best for growing the different type of, in the sense what type of crop can be grown better in the clay soil, and which crops can be grown better in the loamy soil. And also as such you just try to collect the different types of plants that which are grown in different kinds of soils. So the soil is one of the most important part of our life. Soil our life, we say, right? Soil our life. Yes, it is very important for all the living organisms. But this soil, as it is getting eroded by the process of deforestation, where you have to stop the process of deforestation and start encouraging the process of afforestation. Right. So when you deforestate, as the soil root particles, they just hold the soil particles tightly together, which prevent the soil erosion. But once if the plants are being pulled out from the soil, or in an open barren land area, the soil, the topmost layer of the soil is getting eroded by the wind or water or ice. So that process, what we call it as soil erosion. So that can be prevented by avoiding deforestation. Yes, hope you have understood. Meet you in the next video.